Hello, it's Don. Okay, here we are working on the Panga. Well, we sure heard that a lot lately. Well, earlier in the week we put the console, we cut it all out and we put the Simrad fish finder into the console. And that worked out real good, came out beautiful. Now we've got most all of our wiring run, fuel lines, plumbing, it's all done. It's time to get in that console and start working. But we have to mount the transducer on the back of the boat and run that cable. That's one of the last ones we have to do. And here's my Simrad 3-in-1 transducer, and you see it's all assembled, and that's the easy part. They don't come assembled. I don't know why. It's 6 screws to put it together and then 2 bolts going through the side. You know, I'm the kind of guy, especially as I get older, I like to read instructions. I like to say, okay, well, why do I need to do this? Why do I have to put this screw here, that screw there, or whatever? Anyways, my instructions were omitted. They weren't with the kit, and you know, no big deal. I've done I don't know how many dozens of these over the years, but it still makes me feel good to read it. I said, no problem, I'll just go to the Simrad site, and certainly they'll have installation instructions on all this stuff. Well, no they don't. And if they did, I'd be darned if I could find it. I just couldn't find it. So I went to YouTube. I said, well, all right, you know, I'll go to YouTube. There's probably a million videos on installing transducers and all this, and there was a handful. And I'm not going to talk about any of them, just other than I didn't seem to find one that helped me. So, like I said, luckily I've done a lot of these, and so we're going to do this, and I'm going to show you what I know and why I know, and you can pick through it, but here we go. So here's my transducer, and it came in that little case right there, and the transducer body itself was separated from the plate, so it comes with 6 little screws that you have to screw the plate onto the transducer yourself. So, you know, how hard is that? We can figure that out. We don't need instructions for that. They're small screws. Don't over tighten them. They got little lock washers underneath them. So, and I put a little bit of grease on each one before I put it in there, because I'm dealing with salt water here, and I just don't like anything to corrode in any way, shape, or form, even though I'm sure it's all stainless. So anyways, a little bit of grease, and I didn't use my screw gun. I just used my regular Phillips hand one and just got them, you know, good and snug, each one. Where I know it's not going to come loose. You're going to need a number 10 wrench for these 2 bolts that go through the side. This is the plate you're going to bolt to your console. You're going to screw this to your transom, and you can see we can adjust the angle. And so you'll need 2 number 10s for that. And these are tools you're going to need. You're going to want to use some 5200 sealant. Anytime you're working below the water line, you want to use 5200. It's just one of them unwritten rules. You know, below the water line, don't take any chances. Use 5200. And of course you're going to need a drill, because you got to drill into the transom to get for your screws that are going to mount in there. And I got my little drill bit right here. I believe this is a 5/32. When you don't want to drill too small of a hole when you're going into fiberglass, it's amazing how good fiberglass holds. And if you try to cheat it and drill, I just need a little hole to get started, nah, you'll break a screw off in there, and then you're not happy at all. Okay, so that's all the tools we need. I got some blue tape, or I'm going to put that on the transom when we drill our holes. And one thing else, you don't have to have it, but after I drill my holes, I got a countersink bit. And I'll just take and countersink them holes just a little bit, and that keeps the screws from breaking out, chipping your gel coat right around the edge of the screw. Okay, so we got all that. That's easy. Oh, I didn't mention it, but a 1-inch hole saw. We got to take a 1-inch hole through that transom. I mean, you could put it up and over the transom. I don't know. It just seems kind of cheesy to me. I don't like to do it. But here's my transducer. This is the end. This has got to go through the transom. And where it goes through, I didn't bring it over here. Take a walk with me here. Here we go. And it's just a little clamshell thing. I don't know the exact name of it, but that's going to cover the hole. You're going to fill that hole with silicone, and your wire is going to go in it and out the bottom, and then straight down the transom. All right, let's get some blue tape. Walk over here to the transom. Now this is an important part, and it's easy to mess this one up. So take your time. I'm going to sit right down here on the ground with you. Oh, here we go. All right, so I'm looking at my transom here, and I'm thinking, well, obviously I can't put it in front of the motor. That's obviously that goes unsaid. You'd think, well, maybe I'd like to put it right there on that flat, but that's not so good either. Because if you get too close to the edge of a strake, you got your chance getting aeration, a little cavitation underneath your unit, and you know, you're going slow, that'll never be a problem. But when you're going fast, you want to be able to read it, you know, 15, 20 miles an hour. Cavitation air bubbles underneath this is going to prevent that. Okay, so we know we're going to move it over somewhere on this area here, and we're not going to mount it with the boat. Otherwise you're going to be shooting down to the left of the boat. We're going to mount it level, and if one side's a little more under the water than the other, that's not a problem. So we've got that figured out. Now we want to make sure there's nothing in the way under the boat that's going to cause air or cavitation. And if we look right up there, there's the scoop. That's for my live well, my bait well. And I'm going to come straight back. Well, that comes up right about here, so we don't want to be anywhere there. I'm going to take it right about here. And if I look up there, I got no problem. I got a strake up underneath there, but there's 4 feet plus up there. So right in this area is where I'm going to put my transducer. And I've already been inside the boat. Some people will take their wire and put it right in through a drain plug hole. I don't like to do that. Some people will take it up over the edge and into the boat, and I don't like to do that. It just looks like I didn't care. I'm just going to put it in there. I'm going to make it work. No, I got it nice. So this hole I've already drilled from inside the boat. This is a 1/4-inch hole, and that's coming from inside this well. So once the transducer wire gets in there, it's going to go down through the wire chase and up into the console, and it'll make a real nice fit and finish, a good looking install. So let me get some other tools and stuff over here, and I'm going to show you how we're going to mount this. All right, I'm down here ground level with you, getting ready to install this transducer. Now, one point I want to make, no matter what you're doing in life, I know we search this stuff, we look on the internet, we look here and there. Just remember, just because it's on the internet don't mean it's true. Even when I'm telling you, always double check. But I'm pretty confident I'm steering you in the right direction here. Okay, one of the YouTubers I saw that mounted his transducer, he said, I got it up there where I wanted it, and I put 1 screw high and 1 screw low on the opposing side, so it couldn't go up or down. It was locked in solid. Right there on the adjustment holes. Let me line that up again. So yeah, if you put 1 high, 1 low, 1 high, yeah, it can't go up and down. But if there's one thing I've learned over the years with transducers, you get it in what should be a close spot. Very often I've had to come back and readjust them, slide them up a 1/4 inch, down a 1/4 inch, whatever, to make it work. No 2 boats are really the same. So no, don't do that. Put your 3 screws, or start out with a couple, but in the middle of the slots. So if you have to adjust it up or down a little bit, you can do that. And trust me, after you screw that in with 3 screws and put some 5200 in there, and you snug it down, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay there. Okay, now the second thing I've done here, and this is just a paint stick. I've taped it up to the bottom of the hull there. You can see it. And this just tells me, in a glance, okay, this is the level of the hull. And then I've looked up there. I know there's nothing in the way. This is where I want to be. So I've got some blue tape here where I'm going to drill through. So when you're mounting your transducer, you don't, let me set this camera up where it sits still here. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. When I'm mounting this transducer, you don't want the bottom of the transducer even with the bottom of the boat. It'll create air underneath there, cavitation, and after you get going over 5 miles an hour, you're like, geez, I just can't read the bottom no more. This has got to be down in the water. Now on these 3-in-1s, you can see it's almost a two, the bottom section and the top section. And it used to be 5/8 of an inch was a good rule of thumb for a starting spot. And if I took my tape measure here, let's see where this works out on there. That's just about 5/8 of an inch. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start that's where I'm going to start for a baseline. But I'm going to put my screws in the middle, and if I determine I'm getting too much water spray, I'm not happy with what I'm seeing, I got adjustment. I can go up 3/8 of an inch. Or if hey, it just ain't working out, I can go down 3/8 of an inch. And just so I'm not sitting here guessing and looking and going back and forth, there's my paint stick right there where I can look at it and compare as I'm getting my screw holes mounted in there. Okay. Okay, I don't have to get my level out. This doesn't have to be perfect sideways just yet. I marked my 2 outside holes. Would look pretty good and level. About my 5/8 of an inch down. Like I said, at this point now, I got 2 holes in the middle. If it's too low, I can adjust it up. If it's not low enough, I can bring it down. So there's your key. Let's get these 2 holes started. We can get this out of the way. Well, let's see, it not hurting anything. And you want to drill these holes straight in. Don't forget about the angle of your transom. countersink will keep your gel coat from breaking out around the screws. Doesn't take much, just a little bit. That's it. Okay, now I've only got 2 screw holes in here. I'm going to get this up. I'm not puttying anything yet. I'm not putting any silicone up there. I just want to test fit here. I want to make sure that what I got is going to be good. I like to go back in and out a couple times with these screws. Just to help it get threaded in there. Like I said, these stainless screws are kind of soft, and if you bust one off, you're not going to be happy. Okay, I've got you over here on the side where I'm working. There's my paint stick. And you'll see if I bring this up now, I can have it from way low to way high too high. I've got that adjustability now. So I'm going to bring it down right in the middle of my adjustment. And that's going to get my paint stick, you know, right about where I said, right on that crease on this particular one. Maybe just a little bit above. Like I said, we got all the adjustment in the world right now. Now I'm going to snug these screws. Just one. There we go. There we go. Okay, so there's my level. You can see I can adjust that up and down. That's the second thing now, the tilt of it. Really, I mean, in dead level, okay. If anything, you don't want it tilted up in the back. Once again, as it's running, it'll create cavitation underneath there. It'll create air bubbles, and you won't get that good reading when you're going fast. So dead level, okay, maybe even down a degree or 2 in the back. And once again, this is adjustable. You know, that's why I'm putting these screws in the middle. I want to be able to go up. I want to be able to go down. I want to be able to adjust stuff in the future when I say, hey, look, I could be a little better, or, well, I got that spot on. I'm going to just really tighten things down good right there. Okay, so I'm going to tighten all this stuff up now because I'm happy with what I see. I like where it's at. Just remember, just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's true. Do your homework. In my case, I didn't get any instructions, but I've done a lot of these. But one thing I do know is you don't want this so high that it's out of the water. It'll create bubbles and you'll never get a good reading after above idle. You don't want it too low because it'll make a big giant splash, big rooster tail behind your boat. You don't want that either. You just got to find that happy medium. You know, some people say 1/4 inch down, some people say 3/4 inch down. I always start at 5/8. I put my adjustment in the middle and I can make it perfect from there. Okay, I sure hope this helps. Have a great day.